Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment. You can listen to the Mike O'Mara Show at MikeO'MaraShow.com.
Let's get started.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show with Mike O'Mara, Oscar Santana, and Rob Spiewak. Now, here's Mike.
Monday on the Mike O'Mara Show. How is everybody?
It doesn't feel like a Monday. It feels very Tuesday-ish.
Sorry, Commanders fans. Why are you playing that?
I don't know. I don't know where it's coming from.
Who had 24 seconds into the show?
I don't know why that played, Mike. My apologies.
It's great, though, that you can get the first mistake out of the way inside of 24 seconds.
Isn't it great, though?
That's exciting.
No, who was that? I thought that was you, Mike.
Yeah,
No?
I thought
No.
you were command.
Who played that?
I did.
By accident?
Yes.
Oh, that's sad. I literally thought you were gloating.
Yeah. It was good
No.
gloat music.
No, I would never gloat about my
I was
horrible,
like, that was such
hapless
a terrible
Giants.
win.
It
But
was
a
a
win.
horrible
But
win.
a win.
It was there are different kinds of wins. And there are wins that there are losses that I can be happy about. And there are wins that I'm like, who can screw up more? Defense had a good game. Sorry, Commanders fans. I know we have a lot of Washington fans that listen to this show. But yeah, it was just depressing. Just depressing. Just like somebody, one of the color guys on the telecast yesterday said, that's what losing teams do. When Kayvon Thibodeau
Ouch.
gets a slow motion,
Yeah.
floating football and drops it.
Well, Ford,
He's just not into it.
Ford and I were watching it here at the.
You doing the ESPN thing yesterday?
Yeah, we're gearing up for it.
Were you doing color or play-by-play?
Well, I was just eating pretzels, talking to Ford about how I win regardless. If the Giants win, then Mike won't be crabby tomorrow.
This is how that conversation
Yes.
went in my mind. Okay,
Yes.
Lee Reese will be an ass.
Well, that's what I just said. I said
Reese will be a monster.
I said,
Rob's like, yeah, he's a dick. Yeah,
no. I said
yeah.
I'm a winner either way because if they win, then Mike won't be crabby. Though Mike, I said, and defensive Mike, he hasn't been crabby because they've been losing so much. He's so used to it.
He's used to it.
Well,
Mike,
you don't-
I
you go into-
smirked at the victory because I said, Mike needs this. This is a win
No,
for Mike.
but you go into the weekend when your team, and I don't know if I've done a real analysis because I've grown up. I grew up with losing teams that I rooted for, but I never analyzed it as an adult because my focus in my adult years on teams that I like has been on the positive, like
Yes.
the Red Sox after
Right.
80 years, the Giants back in when we were having a blizzard in Washington, D.C.
Oh, that's right.
Won
yeah.
a Super Bowl, I think, against the
Yes,
Denver
we were at
Broncos.
Yimmy's.
No. This
Different
is
one?
this is long.
Weren't we at
You
Yimmy's
were
when the
probably
Giants won a
5.
Super Bowl?
You were probably 5.
But
when
weren't
this
we at
happened.
Yimmy's during another blizzard? You
Yeah, we were.
Yes,
we were.
yes.
Yeah, it was that time of year.
Yeah.
Super Bowl. We get that kind of weather
Yeah.
around here. But the focus is when you have a team that sucks, you lose the anxiety of the game. If you got a big winner team like Miami or Philadelphia going into last night, Sunday Night Football, you got you're tense.
Right.
You want that team to maintain their. When you have a team that is 1-5. 1-4, 1-5. You going, whatever.
Mike, it's like going to Burger King instead of going to the Palm. You just have low expectations.
You get what you get, and you don't get upset.
All right. Did you see the viral video of Jonathan Allen?
No.
This is.
Oh, you mean the one where he went off?
Yeah, the defensive tackle.
Yeah, he would. Do we have that?
Yeah, we do.
later
Matt,
on?
can you bring that up for me?
This is the defensive player, and obviously editing out the crapola, but he was not happy.
No, he was
when he was
displeased.
asked about by a reporter about the loss.
Yeah, he
for
took
the
it
game.
well, I think.
Give me one moment,
It's
actually.
okay.
Okay.
Leave
That's
us,
okay.
leave
because
us in.
the game when you are rooting for a team that is sucky, the pressure. I'm doing stuff. I'm doing household projects right up until game time.
Yeah.
The first 2 games of the season, I was just girding myself for what are we going to have this year? And all. And that's all gone. In that way, it's
So
kind of cool.
yesterday you were like you were beating the rugs outside, all your household chores.
You're just too diminishing expectations.
Yeah.
You don't care.
It's not an event. It's like fine. I'll take a
It's
I'll
fine.
take a
I'll look at it.
gander.
I
I'll
watch
walk
every
by
game.
it. Yeah.
And especially with the Commanders because, and this is my sick world, I will always take it personally about the Commanders,
Yes.
whoever they play.
Yeah.
And that's terrible that even with Dan Snyder,
Gone.
he's
Gone.
gone now. I still can't muster up the gumption because of the whole DC thing.
Yeah.
I had moments, and I know Hall of Famers personally from the Washington football team from the early days.
Yeah.
But who is this guy again that's upset?
He's a defensive tackle. His name is Jonathan Allen, and he
Let's
was
listen
not
to.
happy.
He was asked.
What's
by
the
he was
evaluation like after a loss like that?
They whooped our ass, plain and simple. Got to be better.
Anything they did that surprised you guys early on?
No, I want to say so. I think it's just a lack of focus on our part, a lack of attention to detail, not starting fast, and creating holes that are too big for us to overcome in the second half.
Does it get frustrating when that team?
Yes, it does. I'm f***ing tired of this shit. F***ing tired of this bullshit. Been 7 f***ing years of the same shit. Tired of this shit.
What can you do now going forward to get it turned around?
Get our minds right and get ready to play f***ing Philadelphia.
So
I like the fire.
he's
I love
happy.
it.
I love the fire.
I love it. I
don't even find it.
everybody
I
that
don't even
loses.
find it funny. I love
I
hearing.
agree.
I love
I
hearing
agree.
that he's upset.
I don't even chuckle at that.
And
That's
he
the attitude.
Doesn't care what
Yep.
fine comes his way.
Yep.
Get
Yeah.
your heads out of your
I
asses.
want to win. That's
Yes.
what I do.
Yes.
I care.
And it doesn't make him a bit. Let me be clear. You bunny rabbits out there that are soft and furry and don't want to hear bad words. This doesn't make him some crazy alpha male. This makes him someone that cares about his job and the quality of work that's out on that field.
Yeah, I don't. This is the intensity of professional football and the intensity of life in general
Yes.
when you're competitive.
Mhm.
You don't accept happily problems.
No.
You let it piss you off and you let it motivate you. And I that's the guy. That's the guy
Yeah.
I want. And boy, I tell you, there's certain guys, I don't want to mention names, Daniel Jones, who, just has it all ready, not phased,
I
completely
didn't realize how
calm.
much of a prototypical, and I mean this with respect, just like Abercrombie, some like J. Crew cutout he is until I saw him in an interview, Daniel Jones,
Uh-huh.
where it's like, you're not even talking about the game. You're talking
Quarterback controversy in New York.
is there? I thought he
Yeah, I
was
guess so.
just sitting out because they were so terrible.
No, he's got a neck injury, but this was
Neck
the second
injury.
game. This is the second game that he has missed. And
He tied his Abercrombie tie too tight.
Yeah, they said
34-year-old Tyrod Taylor, backup quarterback,
I watched it.
Yeah.
running that offense
Yeah.
pretty well. So anyway,
What's the controversy? Tyrod's
controversy-
clearly better.
well, the controversy, they played the guy $40 million. That's the controversy.
yeah.
So that's it. And I like that. I like that a lot. That's the kind of stuff that will motivate him.
And
When
a-
somebody
Mike,
gets that kind of money, it's very exciting.
a word
Yes.
to the Commanders fans.
Mhm.
And I said this before the season started. I know it's very excited everyone is that they have new ownership. It's a very exciting new era.
There you go. You
But-
got it finally. On the third go-round, you got very excited.
But remember this, it's still the same team you had last year. It's going
Yeah.
to take some time.
I like, I like Ron Rivera. I like the, but it's.
I like
they're-
Eric the enemy.
They're the bottom of the pile. They
Yeah,
are. They're
sure.
the greats.
It's a
And,
building
it
year.
was a very frustrating win for the Giants. It was a tremendously frustrating loss for your Washington
Mike,
team. So
going-
moving on.
This
To
is
the bowl.
a mulligan.
Let me tell you that it was a very, very nice weekend because we didn't, as much as we enjoy chasing our son around, it's nice to have options on the weekend and have a little free time,
Mhm.
which we had. We had it, and because there was no football, the season is over, and we were able to, do whatever we wanted. Mama did what she wanted. I was helpful for my bride, going down to her place of business and putting together a cabinet for her, which
That was
she has
sweet.
now dubbed me as the construction person because when Michael came along, I ended up constructing so many different things
Yes.
in the house that
Mhm.
I've
You're the
been
builder.
tasked with that.
Bob the
and,
Builder.
and I did it gratefully, with with modern, inexpensive pressed wood furniture, which is
Allen wrench furniture.
Thank you, IKEA. I wouldn't call
all the furniture I know.
Yeah.
You know what I would call it?
Pressed wood.
I would call it cam lock furniture.
Yes, is that what they call the thing?
Cam lock is
Smart.
when you have the screw that goes into the pressed wood and the metal to
The peg.
firm up, because otherwise,
Yeah.
if you tried to screw it or nail it, it would disintegrate and turn to sawdust.
And Mike, it
That's
still
what
might
it
turn
is.
to sawdust even
Right.
as you do it.
Absolutely. And
Follow
God
the
forbid-
instructions very
Yeah.
carefully.
Yeah, and by the way, because if you let something like lean or strain,
Oh, yeah.
you might just peel off a section of the pressed
Was
board.
it a shelf?
It was a cabinet. It was
Okay,
a
because
cabinet.
my favorite thing on those items, and I think you probably experienced too, is the thing that's almost like poster board that goes on the back. That is the only thing that keeps it from
Structurally sound.
doing an accordion on
usually
either
slides
side.
into a seam.
Yeah, and then you have to
Yeah.
use 75,000
They had
nails.
that,
But
yeah.
it is, Mike, it is no thicker than cardboard.
No, it's what is done because it's much less expensive than regular wood.
And it ships
It's-
in a flat box.
Very exciting.
Yes.
Very, very exciting. So, it was just really chill. And I come out in the morning and I take a look at my automobile and I notice, oh, it's time. And we have, like many people, at least down in Florida, everybody hawks down here the unlimited wash plan. All right.
Yes, I've seen
And
this.
so we have a brand new car wash that I could walk to from here, but I don't use it because I've got the unlimited wash plan at 2 different locations.
Why at 2?
Because they are owned by the same people. So
okay. Very good.
the unlimited wash plan gives me 2 locations, which is both that are very convenient. Well, one that's convenient to me, one that's not. So it's off to the car wash, and I don't even process the car wash other than my joy of zipping through and having a little sensor lift the gate up
Yeah.
while people are noodling through. I would pay for the privilege of doing that just so I don't have to sit behind someone, and I call it the ATM effect, where a device that's been around for decades, people still go,
Oh, yeah,
what
yeah.
do I do? Anything
So you
that
have like a
requires-
speed pass for
I have
car
a speed
washing?
pass for a car wash.
That's pretty great.
And most people that go to this car wash have the same thing, and it's like it goes beep, and it's like $19 a month or something
Yeah.
like that. It's very, very reasonable, and it goes deet, and I zip right through.
Could
So
you
I don't
use it
even
on
process.
Could you use it on more than one car?
No.
Oh, sorry.
No. My wife has another car wash that she uses with the same deal.
Okay.
She washes her car every day. Every day. She does.
If it's
not every day.
unlimited.
That's not true. I'm exaggerating.
I
but
would
she
do
does
it
a
every
lot.
day if I was unlimited. Yeah.
So,
makes sense.
you don't process it, right? It's real simple. Most of these wishy-washies, as I still call them,
Yeah.
you get the guy, the attendant, that sits there and goes,
Come here. He
I
beckons.
can't believe there's even a person there. This seems like it all could be automated.
Yeah.
well, they are there to make sure there's not a problem.
Oh, got it.
Is this a thematic car wash?
No.
Because we have a golf-themed car wash.
No.
Out here. We also have a train-themed car wash. So,
Check it out.
like, for example, what do you want? Do you want the Eagle?
Do you still have
want the
Mr.
birdie?
Wash up there?
I think Mr. Wash is
Yeah,
still
he's
up there.
still relevant.
Okay.
Yeah. Same
Is there-
logo.
No flair, very East Coast,
Yeah.
just Mr. Wash.
Yeah.
Trying to think how I know I somehow in my radio career was involved with that.
That was, I think that was in the Kirk era, and I think you got unlimited washes.
No, that was a different one. That was a different
Oh,
one.
was
a
it
local
Embassy?
one. I got that deal. I went out and got that deal.
Okay.
I actually sold. That's when I was like, remember when I first
Oh, I know
started
what it
working there?
was.
And I was
It was-
super excited.
It was like Galaxy Wash, and it was right by your house. And
That's
it
when
was,
I fantasized that I was going to have a run at the edge. Idiot.
But Mike, it
Wasting
was
my time.
their
Well,
theme
didn't
was
your
like
agent
outer
tell you
space.
that it goes, don't do it. Don't do it.
No.
No?
I did that on my own.
You
I
pushed
did that
it?
on my own. Yeah. I went out
Oh.
and got it. This is after I got the job.
I didn't
went out
realize
and,
that.
I went out
They
and
made it
rolled in there. I
happen.
said, let me talk to somebody. Got a person.
Yeah.
They went out there. They closed. It was that easy.
That's awesome.
That's how dedicated an employee I was. I was really. But
You got them an account at your car wash?
I got him a brand. It was a brand new place.
I remember it.
You know what I remember
I've
about
been
it?
to it. I remember it's beautiful.
You know the car wash. It
Yeah.
had a not the thing where it pushes the tire with the little roller. It had a
conveyor belt. Yes.
It was state of the art from
it was
Manassas.
very cool, and they could
Yes.
kind of do stuff as you're going through.
And then you go to like Scottsdale, or I imagine where you live now, Mike, Florida, and you're like, every car wash is nice here.
Yeah.
You know, like
they're not all nice,
they're
but
spas.
Yeah.
there's so many of them.
Yes.
My best thing at Galaxy Wash, and I do remember this clearly, is
Galaxy Wash.
I think that was the name of it. It was very interplanetary. I was in the waiting room talking to my dad, and as my car got closer on the conveyor belt, the Bluetooth clicked in, and I'd been listening to music really loud in the car. So
Right.
all of a sudden, my dad's voice is echoing through the entire place going,
Hello.
I don't hear you. I
Yep.
don't hear you. What?
Terrible when that thing kicks over to your speakers in the car. And
Really
you're having,
not okay.
Especially if you're mid-argument, you know. I effing told you that. Not now. Don't tell me not effing now. So,
Galaxy.
I roll in.
Yes.
There's a minivan in front of me. Now, I don't even think twice about it, but I should have. And the guy, disinterested. One of the purposes they have is to guide you into the little track that sends you through the
got
car
it.
wash.
It's,
I'm
sorry, Planet Wash.
Planet Wash,
Planet
a
yes.
Wash.
world of difference.
Still in business?
No, this is the sad part.
Oh, no. Tell me
Oh.
what. I'm not surprised.
It's
What?
now a flagship wash,
Oh, they're buying everything.
but they have the old signs for Planet Wash on the interior.
Kind of not surprised that they went by the by.
Yeah.
You know, pretty decent nut to get one of those businesses off the ground.
God.
It's well, without us in Manassas every day, who's going?
Yeah, really. Exactly.
It was
That's on
right
the wrong
across the
side of
street
town.
from the Headstone place.
And close to a drugstore.
Always.
So the guy is semi disinterested. This is early on a Sunday morning.
yeah.
And he leads me in, and then they have a token power washer that they're supposed to suds up like your tires.
Yeah.
And they end up this is what they do at most car washes. They will suds up and rinse off one tire and half of your front windshield, and that's it. So it's really not, there's no real purpose. And some of them do it with a little gusto, and some of them just don't. This guy hardly, he could have peed on my windshield.
Yeah.
It would have gotten wetter.
Do
It
they
was
put
like
the
lip.
do they put the plastic condom over your rear
No,
windshield
they
wiper?
don't do that.
Oh,
Don't
okay.
need to. That's where maybe the state of the art comes in. No, it
Okay.
doesn't. It's a- So I'm off, and it starts, and the first thing I notice, and I'm half paying attention, I see in front of me the brake lights go on
Oh,
in
that's
the
not
car in front of me.
That's not good.
No, it's really not. And then the brake lights are staying on, and I'm like, well, this is probably just a sensor or something's going. And then I am soaped up in totality.
Right.
And so I cannot see any longer in front of me. And then the big wheel comes down.
Do they use the tricolor soap?
No, that's no. But thank you for that question.
Very fancy at some places.
So they actually, I'm blinded and I can't see. When the wheel with the little rubber thingies on it lifts up, I am on top of this car and I am making contact.
Oh, God.
And I hit my brake, and of course my car starts to shimmy because I'm braking not to continue to make contact with this other car, and the conveyor belt, the wheel, the little roller is still shoving my car forward.
You're on the
and I'm
track.
still in neutral.
This is
And
The
this
most-
person
this is the saddest car accident in the making I've ever heard about.
Certainly the slowest.
and I don't know what to do.
I mean, I'm
Because
riveted. I don't know what I do
know.
either.
I literally don't know what to do, but it is immediately obvious to me that this flatliner in front of me doesn't know what they're doing.
Wouldn't
and
it
somehow
Definitely
is
not a
yeah.
method. He at least would see that.
It is just, I mean, in giant letters. Foot off brake,
Yeah, it's very clear.
leave in neutral.
Mhm.
Bam, bam.
Mhm.
They point at
Yeah.
the sign. And meanwhile, I'm on top of this car, and it's going
Oh my God.
like that, grinding against it.
Yeah.
And then and the whole thing shuts down. And the slacker from the front, and I like the guys over there,
Sure.
and I light them up too. And and the guy walks by me, and I roll down the window. I lean out, and I said, "It's Arthur Bucco." No, I roll the window. I roll the window down and go. She was hitting her brake. And I think it's a she, but I don't know. I saw the hair, and I'm making an assumption. I go, she was hitting the brake, all right? So he goes up. He's talking to the person in the front. And
Can you hear anything?
I know.
Okay.
Because it's still kind of that hum of the machine.
Yeah.
And he walks back, and he's looking at my car. He's looking at me. She says, you hit her. I'm like, yeah, I hit her because she had her foot on the brake in the car wash. I mean, come on. How
I would have been no. My weekend would be ruined. That's
we're
it.
losing
Ruined.
the very simple. Someone is pressing a button to do what we used to do when I was a child by hand when these places didn't exist, for God's sake, and you're hitting your brake. The one thing you can't do, you unbelievably vacuous, low IQ person. And
maybe they got confused, Mike.
He leans over, gives her, I guess, the full tutorial, then comes back to me and says, I said, I hope they don't hit their brakes. He looks at me and he says, they don't speak English. So I'm like, well, yeah, but it's also in Spanish. It's South Florida. The instructions are also in Spanish.
And also,
but I assume it's Spanish. I assume it's Spanish. I don't know whether it's Spanish
Mike.
or not, you know?
Well, must be nice.
Well, no.
What?
No, the lady in front spoke enough.
Spanish too. And he goes, sir, they're from a different country. What other countries are there?
But she spoke South Florida.
She spoke enough to accuse you.
Time. There are Germans down here. Yeah.
She spoke enough to accuse you of hitting her. There was that.
Thank you, Rob.
Yeah.
Thank you. So, said, I'm going to turn it back on. She's not going to hit her brake now. We'll go through the car wash, and then you guys are going to have to check it out after.
Are you still
after you pull through?
Right up on her though?
She has now. He is giving her instructions on how to lift her vehicle up above the next roller to move forward.
Oh, no.
So there is proper separation.
Okay.
He's tutoring her to do this, and you hear. And she finally makes it over. Then he checks with her, Dumisha, one more time to see what's going on, and then starts it up, and we get through without controversy. All right.
Incident.
So
yes.
At this point, I see that she drives off before she gets the green light. You know what I mean? She doesn't complete the process either, because if you're going to F up a car wash, F up all of it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All of the very basic, simple instructions. Yeah. Do it all. Do it all because you're an idiot. Do it every last bit
all
of
the
it.
way, Mike.
So they pull around. I wait. I get the little thing, and it looks like it's messed up the rhythm of the machine, too. The little drying wiper that comes over your car at the end doesn't quite hit my car
the chain
proper
fell
way.
off.
Yeah. And by the way, I've only been to this car wash 150 times.
Yeah.
All right. So we pull over, and I pull in next to them. I get out, and as I'm driving up, I see a man that has gotten out of the passenger side, and he is talking to the attendant.
Okay.
And it's time for me to get out of my car and look at the front. And I notice that a piece of my bumper is missing, that it's hanging. But it looks like there is an outline. It looks like it maybe is a piece that can be placed back in, that it's not just plastic damage that's being, but I am white hot. I am so pissed off right now because it's so unnecessary and people are so stupid and people just do things without thinking anymore, and I'm really, really frustrated. And I'm looking at
simmered because you couldn't even address the topic as it happened. You were forced to simmer in the car wash for additional time.
And then I realized not the entire car is English challenged, because the man who is talking to her from the passenger side, who is talking to him, the attendant, looks at me and says, between his bottom lower teeth, the two that he has in his entire head, says, it was her first time. And I'm like, oh, well, in that case.
Her first time driving or in the car wash?
You know who he looks like?
Who?
You'll like this.
Okay.
He is, I don't know what ethnicity he is,
right?
But and it doesn't matter.
Nice
but
save.
but he is
Jesus Christ.
He is a doppelganger for a young version of Hector on Better Call Saul, Breaking Bad.
Okay.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, in back of him, saying nothing to me, but Hawkeye examining the back of her minivan, is this biatch who is absolutely remorseless and is like, wow, it really was a ringer. And I don't know. I'm looking at this lady. I got no idea. I am so focused. I go to the front.
When you say minivan, I mean, the minivan was once a very popular style of automobile, not so much anymore. Was it like a pristine,
like a Pacifica?
Yeah, was it like something that she needs to worry
about? To be
about?
perfectly honest with you, I couldn't tell you.
Okay.
I really couldn't tell you, because I was worried about my own vehicle.
I understand.
And I go to the front, and the one thing this dude does is, because I'm squatting down and
Nice.
bending and turning, not my favorite thing to do, even at the weight I'm at. And this guy twists the thing and seats it and snaps right back in.
Oh, great.
And I look, nothing. He said, now, if you want to call a cop, we can, I said, F no. I said,
if you want to involve insurance.
He goes, I said, F no. He said, you're the kind of customer I like. I said, well, it doesn't appear there's any.
This is the lease anyways. I'm going to give it back.
And I think, and then he says to me, he says, and I don't think there's anything on her car. I said, I don't give an F about her. I said that because I didn't. He said, you're the kind of customer we like. Thanks for not doing that. I said, well, it's, there's no damage to my car, and, hopefully. And meanwhile, this guy gets over and hops in the driver's seat, and I'm not going to apologize for anything or even involve myself, because I guess in her privileged world, she doesn't need to get involved with anything.
Right.
And she slides over into the passenger side, and I was off.
Hector takes the wheel?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's
yeah.
nice.
Probably it was, good judgment on his part to do that for the better part of the day.
I would think so.
Yeah. So that was a pretty peaceful little, it was Saturday. It was not Sunday.
Can you imagine your first time? I can't think back of my first time at a car wash. Being able to be
my first time would have been as a child.
A little kid.
Probably.
Yeah, I was going to say, who's dumbfounded by the directions?
Well, I don't know. But with modern automobiles, there is the auto wiper feature on cars. There is the, now for a lot of vehicles, there is the auto hold feature. And you better turn the auto hold feature off on your car, even if it's in neutral, or you're going to have a problem. You just have to, everything, you can't have any of the auto things, because they'll spray down your windshield and the wiper will be going at that. If your wiper's going when it goes through the wishy-washy car wash, it could rip the wiper off.
Right.
And I have to say, knowing these things is trial and error. You do that. I've gone through there where I've said, I have to turn the wiper off, or I have to take the auto hold off. That's it.
You have to
but
you have to close your moonroof.
Braking is not. I've never had to process braking.
No.
Because if you brake, your car is going to go, because
you feel
there is
something's pushing you.
Yeah.
There is a torque coming from the other thing. So that was it. That's all. And if that's the worst that my day gets, I'm A-okay.
I'd rather get in a regular car accident. Because the one inside the car wash makes such, it's logically completely avoidable.
It should be
It's maddening.
impossible. Yeah.
Yes, that's what would
It's
piss me
maddening.
off. Where I'm
But
like,
have you noticed? And I don't. Look,
yeah, I'd rather
I don't like
that happen on the street where I'm like, oh, some idiot just like cut somebody off and they like
Yeah.
sideswipe me, but not in a car wash.
Haven't we though? Really, if you look around, haven't we gotten dumber as a society? I think we have.
100%.
I think it is everywhere. I don't think it's because I'm an old fart. I think it's because I see it everywhere. Everywhere. It's incredible. You see it the way people look going to an airport. You see it the way people process an ATM. ATM still to this day.
I think, and I'm going to shock you.
Okay.
I don't feel that in the city. I don't.
Oh,
feel it.
yeah. All right.
I don't.
You know
feel
what?
it.
Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right.
Do you think because it's in the city, if you're dumb, you get killed?
I think if it's in the city, you're younger.
That
And
could be.
younger
That
people
could be.
are not
Yeah.
as challenged with certain things as older people are. I remember going to see Catherine up in New York City in the east, on the east side, the Upper East Side. And I remember just being like, wow, how cool is this? How much is the pace of life wonderful? And I need to do it more often. I need to get to the big city more often. I really do, because it is refreshing to know that life moves at a certain clip. And here's what's interesting. As I get older, I am beginning to process my sister and my brother-in-law moving into downtown Boston when they got to retirement age.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. I understand that. I think you're absolutely right. I think the pace, I think out here in La La Land, it's like,
I think it's really, and maybe Rob has it right. You can't make too many mistakes in the city because you're going to pay for them.
Yeah.
The population density just doesn't
This is
allow.
I think
for-
it's younger.
Yeah.
I
Right?
think it's younger.
Or it could be that as well.
You go up to Boston.
When you
it's
were
crazy.
visiting Catherine in the Upper East Side, did you go to a car wash?
A car wash in the city, by the way, hard to find.
Yeah, don't
but
have 'em.
also very precarious. Like it's
Yeah,
it's not
bet.
it's not
I
something
bet.
that like it's.
You don't need them.
Yeah, but you also don't have the space to like just shimmy in and then like the one wash that's in Chevy Chase. Everybody knows it. It's expensive. It's like $50 for an SUV.
Line out
it's
the-
crazy.
line
Yes,
around the block.
Yes, yeah, right next to Jennifer Street. Like it's right down to the left.
Hey,
Hey, how
And
you doing? Hey, I'm going to take my Bentley through.
don't polish the plaque.
these mother effers are like, "Do you want the roof washed?" And I'm like, "Doesn't that just come with the Super Deluxe?" I'm like, the roof is more money. Like, doesn't that just happen?
Right.
And then when I get the bill, it's like $42 for the effing car wash.
Yeah.
For a Volvo SUV. This is not like I'm getting anything treated. And I'm like, can you get the wheels? That's going to be $5 extra. I'm
Yeah.
like, what?
Yeah. I mean, it's nuts.
Do you
It's
want us to
nuts.
vacuum your mats? That'll be $5 each.
Ask me the last time I washed the Volvo.
When was the last time you washed the Volvo?
5 months ago.
Have you ever done it yourself? Have you ever taken? No, you don't have access
No.
to a hose with
No.
your mini house there. You don't have that.
You should
right?
come out to Leesburg. We have one of those structures that's like 8 concrete block bays.
I've seen it.
And you
That's
have-
the one like from the 1960s
Yes.
that lingers,
I
right?
laugh when I go by it. The
I
thing
hate
that I
those.
laugh about, and
I
this
hate
is
those.
this
I don't
is
know
so
why, but I do.
stupid. You pass it when you leave the Leesburg post office because it's like one road off the main strip, and there's a sign that's been there for 10 years that says 10% discount if you bring your post office, and then in quotation marks, receipt. And I'm thinking, are they implying something by putting receipt in quotation marks?
Yeah,
I
get
stand
it.
I stand corrected.
Yeah.
Remember when Shannon upgraded the car to the Polestar, which by the
Yeah,
way
yes.
I stand by, just
Yeah.
like a race car
Right.
for a mom-mobile. She paid for the detail because I remember.
Did you
looking-
end up eating that? I know it was a bit of controversy when she rolled in.
Oh,
there
I hate
and,
it, and now I drive it like a madman, which is fun.
Is the electric thing? Is it amazing torque and
Oh no, it
acceleration?
was a chip. It's still an all-gas car. It's the
Oh,
chip.
it's still an all.
It's that Polestar
Oh,
chip.
you got in your existing
yes,
car.
the existing.
you got
Volvo.
the chip,
Like
Yes,
you can
yes.
get in a golf cart too, I think.
but you love the acceleration.
Oh, it's when I tell you it feels like a different. I called my brother who also has the Volvo. This is what usually
Can
happens
they
with-
do that? By the way, can they do that in any car?
to any car. Yeah, not the, you go to a performance shop. They'll chip your vehicle.
I was
Really?
declined
Yeah.
for the chip. when they looked at my my driving record. They said, maybe
the
not you.
The incident we refer to as the spinning top incident.
That's right. They said, you can flip it much faster now.
Little problematic with that one. With that, I get it. It's funny. It's funny. But because I found out about chips in golf carts.
Yeah.
It's an electronic device that can control the fuel going in and that type of thing.
So it's about, and you have a lease on the BMW, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they definitely have something for that.
They have to. I don't know. I have to be. It was Carla's automobile.
Yeah.
That
that little
adopted.
guy. So they have a Volvo and they have the X3 you have.
Right.
Okay.
And my brother drives the X3, and that little guy zips around like it moves.
Just be careful, Mike. Don't get the chip installed in the BMW paperwork because it will accelerate your payments.
But it's a little ding now after that car wash.
Well, that's the beauty of a lease, right?
Yeah. Yeah, well,
or do they make you fix it when you give it back?
August, I'll let you know. I'll let you know in August.
Mike, when you turn in the car,
the lease is up.
When you turn in the car, stand in front of the bumper.
looks Bristol.
This is wonderful. It's so clean.
I don't even know the mileage and stuff. I don't even know those rules yet. And all I know.
Well,
is
that's not anything you need to worry about.
A little too late.
All I know is this: there will not be a new automobile in the driveway. There will definitely, if I get another car, it'll be a used car. However, have you seen? This is the first time I've seen this.
What?
I always look at cars. I look at everything.
You're a
I never
car guy.
buy anything, but I look at everything. And they were showing a car, a used Beamer, and then they said finance rate 10.75%.
What?
Yeah,
for used cars,
now.
It's higher.
Double digits now for used cars. And I went, fantastic. That's really great news. But anyhow, that's my little weekend of activity.
You're paying 10%. Like 3 years ago, people would be like, you're paying 10%? You must have terrible credit.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And I don't.
No.
You must. I even paid off a little credit card.
So people would be like, it's 8% more. It's an 8% mortgage.
Yeah. Life is great. Yeah. FML. We'll be right back. Hey. You don't have to be an athlete to need extra hydration throughout your day. I'm drinking it right now, and it's the sugar-free lemon lime liquid IV.
Yes.
This is one of, I will probably have 3, maybe even 4 of these as the day progresses because I like to stay hydrated. Oscar's holding the bags of the liquid IV. I see the peach. I see the lemon lime. I see the white grape.
Yes.
They're delicious flavors. And listen, if you're going on a long travel experience, if you're going on a night out, if you're doing stuff outside, you're working out, you're playing sports, whatever you're doing, 3 times the electrolytes of the leading sports drink, plus 8 vitamins and nutrients for everyday wellness. Liquid IV hydrates 2 times faster than water alone, all in a single stick. Their hydration multiplier comes in 3 delicious sugar-free flavors: white peach, green grape, and lemon lime, as we just told you. It's a proprietary zero-sugar hydration solution with no artificial sweeteners. I love them all. You will too. Grab your Liquid IV Hydration Multiplier sugar-free in bulk nationwide at Costco, or get a great deal by going to our website and get 20% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use code TMOS at checkout. That's 20% off anything you order when you shop Better Hydration today using promo code TMOS at liquidiv.com.
Oh, look. The Kraken hit the brakes.
Lots of different stuff today on the roundtable that we need to discuss. It was kind of a busy weekend and weird stuff went on. We start today with SAG-AFTRA. I know a lot of our listeners are curious, and we are, about what's going on with that. Well, SAG-AFTRA and Hollywood's major studios will return to the bargaining table tomorrow. That's nearly 2 weeks after the management side called a halt to talks, saying the sides were too far apart. The union's negotiating committee confirmed in a message to members that the outreach to resume talks came from the management side. So that's good.
So they shut it down. Now they're opening it back up.
That's a good thing.
That is.
Look, get it done. Get her done. We need our TV. We need our content. Here's the quote from, I think this comes from the union. It is clear that the strength and solidarity shown by our members has sent an unmistakable message to the CEOs as we have repeatedly said, we are ready, willing, and able to engage on a moment's notice to meet and work across the table to achieve a deal that is worthy of your sacrifice.
When are you coming back?
When that statement come from Fran Drescher?
Oh, are you kidding me? She apparently is a hard-ass negotiator.
Yeah,
That's,
and I think she is
everything I've
beloved
read
in the
about.
community, too. I think she does a good job.
I'm not sure about that part, but I've read in the articles that she is,
Someone's got to fight, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But then, like, when they swooped in the Clooney's and the Afflecks and Emma Stone and people like that, they were kind of rebuffed because they wanted to contribute from the major salaries, the millions, to help everybody else. And she said it's not workable. And so I think what Fran Drescher said was the union has to strike their own deal. She's a hard ass. And she's hopefully they get it done. So we'll have to wait.
And James
see.
Corden, strangely silent.
Yes. Well, cats, Well,
Well, cats.
All right, he's done it again. I don't know if there's a method to this or he likes to do this or what. But Dave Chappelle, his stand-up routine triggered a walkout by some audience members on Thursday evening after he spoke out about the Israel-Gaza conflict. The Wall Street Journal reports that the comedian aired his views during... Is everything all right? I hear some popping and clicking.
Is that you, Mac?
That's not me. No.
You know what it was? There's a bad cable here.
Another bad cable?
Yeah, we just replaced it.
Jesus Christ.
So Thursday evening, he spoke about the Israel-Gaza conflict. The Wall Street Journal reports that the comedian aired his views during his performance at the TD Garden Arena in Boston, during which he condemned Hamas attacks of October 7th, but also slammed Israel's bombing of Gaza. The paper reports that Chappelle also said the U.S. was guilty of aiding the slaughter of innocent civilians and said war crimes were occurring. Chappelle went on to criticize the Israeli government for cutting off supplies to Gaza's population and blocking humanitarian aid. He concluded by saying that two wrongs don't make a right. Bizarrely, the Daily Mail reports that Chappelle had asserted through a spokesperson that he was not in Boston on Thursday evening. Well, that's easy enough to check.
Yeah.
But other spectators have come forward with reports of what he said. The Journal said while one audience member told Chappelle to shut up, others cheered and shouted, "Free Palestine!" Some audience members walked out and later posted on social media saying how Chappelle's words had made them feel unsafe. One wrote, quote, "The audience was cheering Chappelle on during his tirade. I was sick. We were sick. I turned to my friends and wife and said, I think it's time to go. We walked out and met up with many other Jews leaving the show. Never in my life have I felt so unsafe and so fearful of what I was witnessing." For context, I have heard comparisons of what Israel's going through to kind of our 9/11, where, it was pretty obvious going into Iraq after 9/11 was not the right thing. A lot of people lost their lives for that. I think that President Biden, when he went over there, was cautious for the people of Israel to, not go too far with this. And so far, the ground invasion hasn't taken place. But at the same time, when you're talking about 1,500 people being slaughtered and the way they were slaughtered, I certainly understand what's happening. And I think you have to be, my words would be you have to tread lightly on this. You have to tread lightly.
Do you think, you mentioned it in the lead of the story, do you think he does it by design?
I think he doesn't mind being in the middle of controversy.
Right.
I think he's always had the edge, and he dances to it. Nobody's going to tell Chappelle what to say.
Yeah.
I didn't hear it. I'd like to hear it. I'd like to see the way he put it. When they, when I first, I look at these really, really fast.
Yeah.
And when I first looked at it, and this is actually the way you process news too. I looked at it that he condemned Hamas, so he did that.
Right.
And then he slammed Israel's bombing of Gaza. Well, the fact is that, the bombing, indiscriminate bombing, even if you're trying to bomb targets that are military, if you've got people living there, you're going to have collateral damage. It's impossible not to have that in a war situation. But imagine being, the only example we can use is Mexico and Canada. If you had Mexico coming across the border and slaughtering Americans and denying our right to exist. This is as old 1,000 years.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's
I don't think there's a gray
controversy.
area.
Stay tuned.
Clearly.
No. You know what? It is people running a government, Hamas being the governing body of Palestine, of Gaza rather, going into and orchestrating a mass murder and a mass slaughter in the worst possible way. It sucks. And I don't know. I'd have to hear what Chappelle has to say. So stay tuned for that. Meryl Streep and her husband, Don Gummer.
Wasn't he the guy at the car wash?
Hey, how you doing? Yeah, it's her first time. They have announced, just like Will and Jada, they separated 6 years ago. And you never heard about them, did you? The three-time Oscar winner and her spouse of 45 years shared the news of their separation in a statement from a representative for Streep that was obtained by People magazine. Don Gummer, the quote says, Don Gummer and Meryl Streep have been separated for more than 6 years, and while they will always care for each other, they have chosen lives apart. The couple haven't posed on red carpets since the 90th Academy Awards, where she was nominated for the Post, playing the role of Katharine Graham. That's a long time ago.
It is.
However, at the Princesa de Asturias Awards in Asturias, Spain on Friday, the Only Murders in the Building actress was wearing her wedding band in photographs.
This feels different than Will and Jada, though, because I think Will and Jada put themselves out there as a couple. I don't know who Don Gummer is.
I'm laughing because first I love, and I don't want to be ageist, in the age of the Golden Bachelor.
Yes.
I love that the Meryl Streep maybe getting a divorce scuttle is still as saucy as it was 20 years ago because she's so relevant because
Such an A-lister.
Because Only Murders in the Building. By the way, the chemistry there on screen.
She's great.
With
Love scenes with Martin
with
Short.
Martin Short.
Yeah.
Oh, I might have to revisit.
She is a very wonderful character this season. Complex.
I wanted to hate on it.
Yeah.
You can't. You can't hate on that show.
It's
a good show.
Meryl Streep, two of my favorite people
Good show.
in cinema. I give them credit, though, for being that level, and 6 years, nobody knows anything about it. I think that's kind of neat.
That's classic
That's where,
Gummer.
Yeah, but you're not being ageist when you say that's where the speculation of the flavor of the month.
Yeah.
People that are closer to the sun that are younger are going to get more scrutiny than Meryl Streep because they just, well, she's fine.
Well, they're clearly living Ricky and Lucy beds.
Yeah, well, if she was out, catting around, then maybe
that's what Meryl Streep is known for. Is out catting around.
She didn't have an entanglement.
That's right. You know what? I still go back to Ricky Gervais at the Golden Globes when he's making some Meryl Streep joke. I understand they're making a sequel to Sophie's Choice, and it's a simple plot, really. She looks at it and goes, well, I guess it's got to be this one then. Which is just funny. Time for a new movie to take the crown as the #1 film on Netflix. My only question, has Oscar watched it yet? Because this is his wheelhouse.
Yes.
I like the idea of this. This time around, it's a raunchy comedy with a few stars who you might recognize. Say hello to Old Dad.
Yes.
Have you
I've
watched
seen
it?
a lot of press on it. Yeah,
I watched it twice
course
actually
you
because
did.
I watched it on
Of
Friday
course
when it
you
came
did.
out, and then Shannon was watching it last night when we got home.
Can
from
you
work.
review it after I see it? Is that possible?
Yes.
Yeah. Because I said
Oh,
I saw this.
You're gonna. There's Mike O'Mara vintage humor in it.
Okay.
But
my wife loves Bobby Cannavale, who's also in it.
Yeah.
too,
Speaking
you
of
know?
Netflix, this week with the ride up to Halloween, I binged over the weekend Fall of the House of Usher.
Okay.
And if you can imagine a horror version of Succession with jump scares and
Succession?
with jump scares and a pretty significant plot.
Right.
I thought you were talking about the artist performing at the halftime show at Super Bowl.
Yeah,
No,
that's
he
what I
didn't
was thinking when I
fall.
hear Usher.
No.
Whenever I hear Usher, his brand is that loud
Yeah.
where, you know that.
But this
right?
is, it's sort of based on the stories of Edgar Allan Poe.
Oh, okay.
But it is pretty sensational. And I
Right.
recommend it highly, especially if you're looking for something spooky for Halloween. So check it out.
All right. Old Dads premiered on Friday, October 20th, and it is sitting above other titles like Fair Play, Long Shot, and The Devil on Trial, and more. The Devil on Trial, by the way, if you want to look at people being stupid, just watch that.
Also, Netflix.
That's another, that I believe that two of the people that were in that documentary, The Devil on Trial,
Yeah.
I believe that they were in that car wash on Saturday. with
There
me.
is a specific for America listening right now. If you
What?
watch this film, there's a specific driving scene where Bill Burr is in the driver's seat, one of the dads,
Yes.
and he's going to pick up his kid.
Well,
And there's someone without a helmet on an electric scooter in front of him. And I'm not talking about the scooter like rascal scooters. I'm talking about the little bird scooters that annoy the world. In every
Bill
city.
Burr looks like the star of the film.
He
in the
is, but when
trailer.
he's driving behind him, I looked at Chan. This is how you're embedded in my psyche. I said, "That's Mike O'Mara." And when you see it, tell me,
Can't wait.
be honest if I'm lying or not.
I will do that. I can't wait to see that. It's going to be exciting. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, Trump insiders. And now when you hear this, as much as I'd like to be unfair
I can't believe
to the
this
former
guy's not in
president,
jail. I
Yeah.
can't believe it by now.
I would really
Jesus.
like to be unfair to the current president, but I'm going to tell you this is an insider, and this is not necessarily the most credible source when it
Okay.
comes to Trump, but it's just a funny story that I had to leave you with today. Trump insiders are claiming that the former president is feuding with his youngest son, Barron Trump, over his height. When promoting his 2019 book, Siege, Trump Under Fire, Michael Wolff talked about this apparent feud in an interview with Lawrence O'Donnell on MSNBC back when Barron was only 12 years old. Trump is reportedly jealous of his son's height because at 12 years old, he was apparently growing up. Here's the quote. He's jealous of everyone's height. He never lets himself be in a photograph with someone taller than he is. Back when this was reported, Barron was already a few inches taller than Donald. They were seen together oftentimes when they all were in the White House, but since then, photos of Barron and Donald together are few and far between. Now, Barron is around, are you ready for this?
Yeah.
6'8".
Get out.
You haven't seen pictures of him.
No, because the former
No,
president
he's-
is pretty tall.
He's playing in the Euro League.
Yeah,
He's
sure.
6'1", the former president.
Yeah, that's not slacking.
And the last time the two were seen together was at his first wife Ivana's funeral. Barron has mainly stayed with his devoted mother, Melania Trump. I don't know why they put devoted mother in there, but they did.
Melania is 7'2".
She is. Oh,
She's always in
height
flats.
insecurity. Height insecurity. Look, with what we know
Yeah.
about Trump, couldn't you see this as
Yeah,
plausible?
Absolutely.
but this is a slam piece. You know why?
This is a total slam
Because
piece,
this
and I
has
prefaced it by
nothing to
saying
do with like all the other garbage that
I
they
know.
could write about.
Yeah.
But you know what? All the other garbage gets covered in other places. I like this stuff.
I
because
do
it's
too.
funny.
I saw the article months ago, and look, I'm not saying this isn't true, but that he had lifts on because his other son was taller than him, and they had to be of a certain height.
Elevator shoes.
Well, there's been an update.
Oh,
In August of 2023, Intelligencer reported on how Donald allegedly lied about his own height and weight while getting his mugshot taken. Lied about his height. So
We've all
I know,
lied about our height. Come on.
We've all lied. Yeah, you know what? I got measured during my physical the other day. I have always said that I was either 5'10" and a half or 11, and I think it might be true. I'm 5'10" now.
shrinkage.
We represent the lollipop guild.
I think it's true what they say. Is you
Yeah.
can
Yeah, you smush down.
age is a terrible thing. So, hey, I'm actually 6'7". I'm 6'7". But good luck. I'll just say this, Oscar.
Yes.
Yeah, slam piece, agreed. You're probably right. But could you not see him
Sure.
not wanting to have pictures
I
taken
think
next to people who are
he
taller
is
than him?
as unreasonable enough to be like, hey, get
Amen.
in that ditch. You
Yeah,
got to be the
it's-
same size.
And
It's just
also,
funny.
Mike, it's really just a distraction technique to pull attention away from his hands. His
It is.
tiny hands.
You know what Barron said?
What did he say?
Okay, that's it. We'll take a break, and we will come back with very strange doings with Mac and the West Coast, and you
turn
can
off
still
your
hear
microphone. Yes.
Mac and the West Coast, and that's all you heard, isn't it? Mac and the West Coast and fun stuff with Podville. Podville Media, ladies and gentlemen. We'll take a break and come right back after this on the Michael Mary Show. Folks, it's time to experience Dadgrass, the legal organic way to unwind without hangovers or grogginess. I should have done that this weekend. Enjoy the relaxation of smokable hemp. I might have lost a little weight if I did that too.
Yeah.
Low THC, high CBD. Explore their 100% organic pre-rolled joints for a clear-headed cannabis experience. Not into smoking? Check out Dadgrass's top-notch tinctures and gummies. A delicious, euphoric mood is on the way. It's all the mellow goodness, no smoke required. And they all leave you feeling good vibes. All Dadgrass products are federally legal for ages 18 and over and ship right to your door anywhere in the U.S. Plus, it's TSA approved. Right now, Dadgrass is offering our listeners 20% off their first order when you go to dadgrass.com/TMOS. Go to dadgrass.com/TMOS for 20% off your first order. That's dadgrass.com/TMOS. So, we don't talk about it really a lot, but the other entity that we are associated with, Oscar in particular, as the CEO of the company, is a company called Podville Media.
Yes.
Podville Media, a digital media company that does work with wonderful organizations like the George and Barbara Bush Foundation and ESPN and many, many more. And
The Lincoln Project.
The Lincoln Project as well. And
CivilRights.org.
It's busy, 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 and that's the entity that our own Charlie Burney put together with Oscar Santana.
Yes.
And I'm very, very proud to be associated with them and always proud about what they do. And, little things happening all the time.
Yes.
With this, including this strange one. And,
Well, it's not strange. This is actually, this is the first, this is over the past 5 years. This is going to be the 5th year of what was Podcast Village and then evolved into Podville Media. We do digital and linear, Mike, as they say in the business.
What is linear for the
television.
people that don't know? Okay.
Television. So there has been many approaches by different from different markets of like, hey, like you should think about opening a Podville Media in this city or this city, this city. And for 3 of those years, we had a pandemic. So not so many then, but we've had a handful since. People have gone, not necessarily back to work, but the world has opened back up.
Sure.
And look, this is just something fun that I can discuss that, 50-50, who knows. But we had a conversation with a very established potential partner in the West Coast. And this is like literally, you know me, Mike, you have one conversation with me, even if it's like a throwaway, I start gaming out like if it's something that's viable that I want to spend any more energy on. If it's something that's
absolutely
possible. So this potential of an outpost of some sort of a footprint in Los Angeles may make sense. And if that happens next year sometime, then you got to have people that can travel and that it won't always be Shannon and I or, key personnel. And I happen to get off a call and I walk into the conference room here, one of the conference rooms, and Mac's in there having his salad with his chopsticks.
Mike, I have a new theme song for Mac.
You're a rich girl and you're gone too far, 'cause you know it don't matter anyway.
Now, this has been a lot of, I think you guys may have touched on it when I was there, but when I wasn't there.
Yeah.
So I'm really not privy to this blue blood lifestyle of Mac, but that's another entity. But I want to hear about that as well.
But this all falls into place here because Mac, he dresses like a 23-year-old gamer and
with a penchant for orange.
Yeah, for the color orange.
Yes.
And so I don't really think twice of Mac. Like, he's a good kid. He's 30. He's not a kid anymore.
I love having him associated with our show.
And he's killing it. So I see him eating his lunch with his chopsticks, and I'm like, oh, Chopsticks again, huh?
Yeah.
They're really holding on to this old Japanese bit.
Yeah,
So
it's really not even a thing anymore. It's sort of accepted. I think it's still weird, but we don't.
I really enjoyed the acceptance of walking in on a weekend and then walking into his office and then seeing, and I looked down and it's a salad with his chopsticks half open. And I said, well, that could have been thrown away. Let's do that next time, Mac. So,
I kind of cry when I hear about Japan now because I'm kind of sad.
Let's not make it about you for 2 seconds. Please.
Mike, I've been crying about Japan since 1941.
Yeah, or that time the listeners spent all that money and nothing happened. All right, so moving on. I said, hey man, like just on the off, like, can you fly with this Ashley Madison's thing that you got going on? And he goes, of course, like indignant, blue blood indignant.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm sorry. I'm just, I'm trying to like figure out like next year sometime we might have to go out to Los Angeles for 3 weeks to a month, something like that. Have you been to the West Coast? And he says, I've been to the West Coast many times.
Oh.
And I said, oh, really? Like what part? He goes, oh, I used to travel all the time to the West Coast. And I'm thinking, like, who am I talking to? This guy that did he travel on business?
Yeah.
Was this on vacation? Did he have some sort of other life that I didn't know about? Is this blue blood money that his grandparents had just...
So he's been to the West Coast multiple times.
Yes. And he said it to me like I was a rube for asking him.
Because you think of, Rent-A-Center where he worked before. And
Rent-A-Center.
Micro Center.
Micro Center. And you
So
think of
funny,
him
though.
as
So funny.
You think of cheating about going to the community college. You think that he's been, only recently moved out of the parents' basement, and now he's doing that. But Mac has been around for a long time. And Mac, are you indeed well traveled?
Yes, mostly.
Yeah. Would you list the places you've been
Around the world?
Yes.
Sure. So California, Florida, New York. I used to go there all the time.
You can go a little slower. I'm not going to catch up with my things. California. All right.
New York.
New York.
New York City, and
New York.
Florida.
You said you've been there all the time. Which one did you go to all the time?
All three.
Wow. Okay.
So California was a regular destination?
Yes, because I had two different uncles who lived there.
There it is.
Yes.
It's not a money thing. It's just he's got family
Were
out
they
there.
wealthy?
Were they really
One
uncles,
of
or
them
were
was.
they uncles with quotation
Okay,
marks?
Hold on, Rob.
let him
One of
answer
them.
the question.
One of them was.
Yes, he was a lawyer.
Oh.
Okay.
White collar crime or blue collar crime?
I don't actually know. I never
Entertainment law.
got into that on what specific lawyering he did before he retired.
This is my Uncle Joe Coyne.
It's Uncle Swifty Lazar.
Is his last name Emmanuel?
No.
Uncle Will. Will Morris.
He's very good.
Was there a Wilhelmina in your family?
No.
Are these blood uncles? Are they really uncles or friends of the family?
No, real uncles.
Okay.
This is Uncle Bob Iger. You know Bob, right?
Yes.
Iger, yes.
Yeah.
That's the one. You win.
So how many trips to the left coast?
At least 6.
Okay.
When I was a
All
kid.
Pretty
I
well
have
traveled
not
out there.
gone as an adult though.
When you flew as a child, did they pin a note to your shirt and put you on the plane?
No, I flew with my family.
Oh, okay. So the whole family.
Yes,
was there.
the whole
Okay,
family.
that's good.
What about the Florida travel?
A different aunt and uncle lived there, as well as my mom's parents.
East coast of Florida or west coast?
West Palm Beach.
Oh, hey, she. That's wait. There we are.
And New York was just because my mom loved going to New York, so she would bring typically my brother and myself.
And would you go to shows?
Yeah, we went to Broadway. Went to Blue
The
Man
best.
Group a few times. I do
It's
enjoy
the best.
them.
I love it.
He
I
does
love
enjoy
it.
them.
Yeah. Did you enjoy
Yeah.
the shopping?
A little bit. I didn't.
Did you ever go to FAO Schwartz when it was a thing?
I don't know what that is.
Did you
It's
ever
a
get
toy
toys
store.
when you were there?
Oh yeah,
All the time.
Did you ever get your picture with Times Square Elmo?
that was no, because I don't think that was really a thing.
You're
back
more
then.
of a naked cowboy guy.
Yeah. He's great, by the way.
Did what about Europe? Where have you been in Europe?
I've been to London and France.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Did you know?
Yeah.
No.
Oh yeah, this is
He's worldly.
He's breaking this all. What
Right.
Caribbean islands have you been to?
Okay, so I've been to Saint Lucia, Saint Martin, Saint Croix, and I believe Saint John.
this kid.
What
Right?
what was your takeaway from Paris, France?
So I mean, I saw the Arc de Triomphe, I saw the Eiffel Tower, loved those, but my takeaway was it was the time that my mom broke her tooth on a Twizzler.
Those French Twizzlers.
Yeah,
I
they're
love
very
you, man.
hard.
I don't know
You're
how.
so real. You're so
I don't know
real.
how, but it happened.
Broke
And
she
it was
have
a whole
tooth on a
emergency.
Twizzler.
Did she have to seek a French dentist?
I don't remember. I think so. I think she called like her dentist at home to find like a quick remedy until she
What
got
do
home.
you expect chewing on that American candy?
Mike, you know what the worst thing about a French dentist is?
What's that?
The tongue.
Bonsoir.
Hello.
Hello. Well, Mac.
So the
I
true
hope-
takeaway
what
was
is
like,
it?
yeah, anytime I can go. Like
Yeah,
he's
and-
free. Like
Well,
he's got.
probably be a list of people that want to go out and help you out in L.A. you
Yeah,
know?
Shannon said, "Why did you talk to Mac?"
I'll do it.
Yes.
Oh, that'd be
I'll do it.
perfect.
Oh no.
I'll do it.
I
See
said,
that?
I said,
Why?
Mac.
Can I ask you a question? You diminish me so much.
I
You
don't
know,
diminish
could-
you. You're a distraction.
I'm not a distraction. I would be your employee.
Tell
And
me,
you know-
what value would you bring to me in the middle of basically specking out a studio?
Because he knows and loves Los Angeles. You've never been to Los Angeles with Mike. When Mike is in Los Angeles, he lights up. He's a different guy.
I'm going
No.
for work.
That's can transfer to his work.
I'd like to.
Yeah.
I'd like to be involved.
You say that now. This is the not fun work of the business.
I know.
Where
I
you're
don't-
just sitting in meetings and engineers are like basically rebutting everything you want to do. And you have to like grind them down with logic, saying it's not going to cost a lot. It should just be this. I know you're trying to bilk me right now, but
Well,
it's going to
Mac's
be
not
this.
going to do that. You're going to do that.
I'm going to do that, but Mac's going to sit right there next to me in a little suit that I buy him from Woody's, and I dress him up, and I'll be like, this is my assistant engineer.
Mike, it's a beautiful suit. It zips up the back.
You know, it's the suit. It's the suit from A Christmas Story.
Yeah.
Just love you.
Before we
What do you think, Mac? I think it's a good idea.
before we put a pin in this, true or false, Mac? You stayed at the Chateau Marmont.
Chateau Marmont.
I don't know what is with me today, Mike. My apologies
Do you remember?
to all.
Do you remember the hotel you stayed at?
No, I never stayed at a hotel in California.
You stayed at your uncle's?
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
okay.
So he was just barking out. I was like, because I was asking him about. I was basically seeing if he's lying to me because I was like, where in LA did you stay?
yeah.
How did you stay in LA?
Well,
Do you
I'd
kn-
never been to L.A. I went to San Diego.
Yeah. So then that's how it all broke down because I was like, you know this hotel? He's like, yeah. I was like, well, that hotel's in this city.
But you know what's this is where Podville has grown, in my opinion. Podville has grown because you are now thinking more along the lines of delegating than taking it all on your own shoulders.
Yeah.
You're becoming a more CEO type CEO. And
Yeah.
I think that's would I be right about that, Oscar?
Yes.
That this is something where it would have been you go out and negotiate, you set it up, you lay the cable, you roll the thing, and you're thinking more down the road that
Yeah,
I
there
think
just
it's
isn't time
it's
for
growth.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
there isn't time. Well, there is time to spin it up, as they say in the business.
I understand.
But you want someone trusted that knows your infrastructure and isn't gonna like basically give you a lot of like, what are you talking about? So Mac knows the ins and outs of this place by now. He's been here for 3 months.
I'm
over that.
actually going out to the left coast for another business.
You are?
Really?
opportunity.
Oh, that's fantastic.
That is coming. Yeah, I'm opening up a break-free car wash out there.
That would be great, Mike.
That's
Really?
Right next to the
looking forward
freeway.
Yes.
Right next to the freeway. On and off. Easy on and off. Yeah. Big sign says, how do you say brake in
Freno,
Spanish?
freno.
No freno. No freno.
And he'll sell oranges, too.
No freno es bueno.
No braking is good. We'll be right back with something else right here on the Michael Mara Show. This podcast is sponsored by Naked Wines. Naked Wines is a subscription service that connects you to the finest independent winemakers on the planet. I love this company. You get wine as often as you like for a fraction of the price you pay in stores, and it is great. Up to 60% off. They cut out the retail middleman's costs and markups, winemakers can pass those savings on to you without skimping on quality, and I mean good quality wine. The best part? Every bottle is a passion project from an independent winemaker. So you are literally making an independent winemaker's dream come true, which is wonderful. So head to nakedwines.com/TMOS and click Enter Voucher in the top right when you get to the website. Then enter TMOS for both the code and the password. Don't hit your microphone when you're getting excited.
He likes his wine.
Oh, yeah.
Both the code and the password, and that will get you 6 bottles of wine for, listen to this, $39.99, shipping included. Try to find that deal somewhere. That is $100 off and less than $7 per bottle. nakedwines.com/TMOS and use the code and password TMOS to grab 6 bottles for just $39.99. nakedwines.com/TMOS, code and password TMOS for $100 off your first bottles.
The easiest thing to do, Mike, if you click the button on our website, it'll fill all that stuff in for you. Just go
we've got
through
time
the
for a
website.
real quick break here, and I just want to lay this out there.
Okay.
Mrs. O'Mara has a request for Christmas. I have looked online, and I am not being very successful.
Okay.
I know that our listeners are into stuff like this, so if anybody can help me, please pass along the fact that... All right, it's Christmas. Turn it on. I'm doing a picture. So anyway, the Mrs. O'Mara wants this. Over the weekend, when we had our free time, where our kid was at a play date, and he had 1, 2, 3 separate play events over the weekend. Sleepover with his friend Finley, a day with his buddies Austin and Aiden on Saturday, and then a play date with Brantley on Sunday. George
Busy
Carlin would have a
weekend.
field day with all these names. But Mrs. O'Mara and I went out to a place way, way downtown in Fort Myers.
Okay.
I don't even know what the joint was called, but it was an old school arcade type place.
Oh, okay.
Because Mrs. O'Mara wanted to play the pinball. Well, we get into the joint. It's got like 30 Pac-Man machines that are everywhere. Nobody's at those. It's got the Centipede.
Yeah.
It's got Missile Command. It's got nobody at those. 3 pinball machines, all occupied by young kids playing pinball. Pinball still the go-to. Pinball still the go-to.
When
and that's
we went
Carla
when you
wanted
took
to
us
do.
out to dinner.
To Buffalo Chips.
Yeah, they had a marvelous, I think it was a Wizard of Oz
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
pinball machine. And
Really,
we couldn't-
really good one.
We could
Really good
not get Michael off it. It was
So,
great.
Driving back, finally one of the ladies takes a little powder. Carla asked politely, and we end up playing this really nice pinball machine. And of course, on the way back, I want a pinball machine. I said, well, we converted the garage. We'd have room for it out here. Nowhere else in the house, but we get one. And then I get on, and of course, like everything that's anything, no matter what they cost back in the day, they're pretty pricey right now. And I'm just wondering if I'm looking down the right rabbit hole for my pinball machine, or if there was another, sometimes people give me that insight as to
Where's
where
Pinball
you might
Paul
find-
at?
Pinball Paul.
Pinball Paul. There you go. I need a pinball Paul. That's
He did
what I
not
need.
return my last call, which is sad. And he was
Is he?
maybe he is maybe he
Is Pinball Paul your guy?
yeah, maybe he played his third ball. But he is a
In life.
he was a repair guy. He wasn't a guy that you would buy stuff from.
Okay.
But what you need to search for, Mike, is that we've got a great place out in Hagerstown called a Coin Op. It's called Coin Op Warehouse.
That's a big drive.
But I know, but I'm not telling you to go to Hagerstown. I'm telling you to search locally, because probably somewhere out of town there's a place that will sell your jukeboxes, your coin-operated machines, and your pinball machines. And
Okay.
also, you got to think about, it's not something you can ship. It has to be delivered. It's not as big of a delivery as you think, because they take the legs off. So, it's just the flat thing. And I think some of them actually take the rear display off, so it's 3 pieces.
Well, this part of the neighborhood,
Yeah.
he had them all like, it almost looked like an elaborate bicycle lock
Yeah.
where they were all tied to each other, so that they can't be. Are these particular machines, are they, it looks to me like these are extremely valuable machines from a retro point of view.
The ones you played, were they classic, or did they play like a lot of music and like the modern guys?
I don't know.
Does it open up into a larger machine?
I don't really know.
I found a place on Facebook Marketplace arcade machines near Bonita Springs for sale. And they've got a pinball machine, Mike. Let me give you this guy here. Hold on. A lot of stand-ups, which is great.
A lot of slot machines.
Oh, a cigarette machine for $350.
I've been thinking of starting to smoke.
I can send you this. Oh, here we go. Boom. $5,500. A Judge Dredd pinball machine. It's in Cape Coral, 1993.
That's
Judge
too modern,
Dredd
I think.
Pinball machine.
I think you could get cheaper if you went classic.
I heard the number.
Okay.
Mrs. O'Meara will be getting a lovely pair of leggings.
Fort Myers, private home, private collection, Fort Myers, Florida, Sopranos pinball machine.
Oh,
$6,500.
Enjoy your sensible top, Carla.
No, Mike, don't give up. Don't give up.
I won't
I think
give
you
up.
can find yourself a 1970s machine. Now, the
This
thing
is classic and cool.
But
whoa,
it's not vintage. And also, when
I
you
don't
get
want
something
vintage.
like that,
I don't want. I
vintage.
want
Sopranos
modern.
is vintage. It's like 20
I want
years
modern.
old now.
I don't want vintage.
it's
I
going to
want
break.
modern.
It's going to break.
What do you mean it's going to break?
It's not like maybe for 10 minutes, Tony will talk to you, and then that sensor will go out.
Wait a second.
or
Are you
something like
you pulling that bit where old timey purists say it's not made of the same components as the old ones?
No,
so
I'm
it's
saying
not going to last.
I'm saying there's 1,000 things that'll break on that, and there's maybe 100 things that would break on a classic pinball machine.
But I like all the the
Okay.
different weird
All right.
things where you shoot it into Tony's mouth. And
I'm
you,
sending this to you, Mike.
It's
Okay.
Carmela's mouth, Mike.
That's exciting.
Gross. Yeah.
All right. On that note, we have to take a
You
break.
animal.
Do you have the flip?
I
ready
do have a
for
flip
us?
side,
What
and
is
Mike,
it?
let me poke around up here and see if I can see what the prices are up here.
Well, I don't think I'm in the ballpark.
I
to be
sent it
honest
to you,
with
Mike. It's in the group thread.
I have a budget.
Yeah.
I do.
Okay.
I can share my budget with you.
All right, how much is it?
$40. We'll be right back, everybody.
You can make it back if you charge her for quarters.
Yeah, amen. Hey, everybody, let's talk about Chime. Credit scores might not seem like a big deal, but low or no credit can jam up your financial dreams. That's where Chime sweeps in with its Chime sweeps in.
Hey, man.
Sweep.
The chime sweeper's
Bit
here.
my
The
cheek.
chime sweeper's here.
Chime sweeps in.
Let me tell you about Chime. Hey, little buddy.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, there you go. Hold on a second. That's where Chime sweeps in with its secured credit builder Visa credit card.
Yeah.
It's a little scary for chime, don't you think?
Hey, everybody.
Oh, there you go.
Hey, that's right.
Diamond.
Hey, this sounds interesting, doesn't
Isn't
it?
it? Hey,
I've got a
all sorts of different things. Hey, Mike, tell him about Chime.
You got it, guys. Chime sweeps in with its secure credit builder Visa credit card.
millions trusted to power up their credit scores. It took a lot of letter writing.
Who had recorded it also?
Safely boost your score. This might be my new favorite one. No annual fees and no credit check to begin. Plus, no balance or overdraft fees.
Mike,
It's your passport to all Visa accepted spots, all while bolstering your credit with your own funds.
using that filter, make your voice as low as you can, but stay it on that filter.
Level up your credit game with Chime. Seize your financial future. Chime checking account with at least a $200. Oh, I'm sorry, I have to say it the right way. Open a Chime checking account with at least a $200 qualifying direct deposit to get started. Get started at chime.com/TMOS. That's
chime.com/TMOS.
The Chime Credit Builder Visa credit card is issued by Stride Bank N.A., member FDIC.
Chime checking account and $200 qualifying direct deposit required to apply.
Out-of-network ATM withdrawal fees may apply. On-time payment history may have a positive impact on your credit score. Late payment may cause a negative impact
On your credit score.
Results may vary. I could do the show
Like this.
for the rest of
Do you believe in love?
Oh, hit the thing.
You want to do the thing? Okay, sure.
Let's do it. Thank you.
The flip side.
This tape spoke to me because I always think when you leave on vacation, you're away for 5 days, maybe 7 days.
Mhm.
When you come back to your house, you don't want anything bad to have happened to your house.
Oh, no.
Because, it's unattended.
Yes.
You can have a neighbor check in, but it's unattended. This lady,
Hey, lady.
came back from vacation, and she ran into something that's not so great. She had her house demolished. She was in Atlanta, and
God.
she came home, and the house, it was knocked down. The answer? It was a classic, whoops, my bad.
Hodgson can't even begin to process how her longtime family property ended in a pile of rubble. It started while she was on vacation and received a call from a neighbor.
Did you hire somebody to tear your house down next door to me that's been boarded up for about 15 years? And I said, no. She said, well, there's somebody over here just demolished the whole house and tore the whole house down.
Hodgson says the workers
Demolished.
got nasty.
Demolished.
He told her to shut up and mind her own business.
So she sent a family member over.
Said, well, look, I want to see a permit or something. And he said, okay. He pulls it out and he says, oh, I'm at the wrong address.
Oh, my God.
How great is that?
Oh, my God. Wow.
What are the odds?
Yeah.
There it is. The show comes full circle, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You know, from breaking in a car wash to, I didn't double check the sheet. It was folded up in my jeans.
But, to be fair, for the guy who had the sheet in his jeans, it was a boarded up house.
Okay, yeah, but still,
you want to double check that
yeah,
address.
double check the address. Might be a good idea.
It's the season of Halloween. I hate Halloween. They're starting to decorate in my
you
neighborhood.
don't hate Halloween. Come on now. You used to love it. You don't hate it now. Come on.
Don't come to my house for candy. You'll get nothing but scorn. Candy scorn.
That's sad.
But in Utah, Mike, a gentleman set up a pretty decent display in his front yard using a utility pole that he had in his front yard. And I think you'll enjoy it. Nice bone.
Halloween display and the way it's blown up on social media.
We're gonna go tip them when we leave. We know what it's like to work for tips.
I know. It all started days ago when Christopher Musician put up the skeleton pole
skeleton is
on
pole
the city
dancing.
sign. He says the only backlash he received was caught on camera a neighbor who kept coming over to cut it down.
Maybe a little risque for some people, but it's just all in the name of fun.
Then the city posted the display to its Facebook page, telling him he had until 9 p.m. that night to remove it since it's against city code.
Well, what he did was he took it down and made it bigger and better and put a pole in his own front yard. So he erected, Mike, his own pole. And was able to keep the display going, so it's still there.
You think he would use all of that energy for some actual sod on his lawn?
Yeah, the yard didn't look that great.
Halloween. It's Halloween. It's the scariest yard.
Very, very exciting.
Mike, I know that I talk to my dog. I see Oscar talk to his dog all the time. Do you talk to your dog?
I do, yeah,
okay.
constantly.
Do they ever reply?
Yes, they go, thank you. I'm licking myself. Leave me alone.
Well, this guy talks to his dog, and the dog kind of replies. I do feel, however, he says this is how he passes time when he's sharing graham crackers with his dog. What I see here is a very needy owner.
Are you babies? Are you the babies? Are you a precious babies? Are you a pretty baby? Are you my babies? Say, I love Daddy.
All right, now go get the peanut butter. That's all I have for you today, Mike.
That's it. We are out of here. We'll be back with another brand new episode tomorrow. Mac, keep doing what you're doing, brother.
Thank you.
Really. And we will be back with a brand new episode. For Rob Spiewak and Oscar Santana, Mike O'Mara saying so long, everybody.
I've been to San Diego.
Ciao, ciao.
Want more? Make sure you check out the Mike O'Mara Bonus Show. Get it at MikeO'MaraShow.com.
Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment.
Sometimes it is a big competition.
Just swallow it whole. Shouldn't be a problem for you.